All right, guys. So I am Treva Christopher. I am the broker and owner of the Christopher Dynasty Real Estate Group, as well as mortgage broker. And this is
Kayla Christopher. I am a real estate professional as well as assistant to Treva Christopher.
And today we're going to be talking about me being her mom, her boss, and her broker. So let's get into it.
Yep.
So a lot of people might think that business is just handed to her because she is my daughter. I am the broker of the company and very successful in selling real estate. Not always true. I've always prompted my kids and taught them that you have to work for exactly what you want, and that is what she's doing. So let's talk about your journey getting into real estate, how she decided to get into real estate, and everything that her future surrounding real estate.
Yeah, so to start off, guys, originally I wasn't into real estate as I am now because I was in nursing school. That was always my passion. That was something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to be a nurse. But, you know, things didn't go well in May of this year. So I had to make a change because, you know, things didn't go as well. But I've always been in real estate for the past 6.5 years with my mom on the sideline. A lot of people don't know that. So they're like, oh, you know, she just jumped into real estate. Like, no, I have actually been on alongside my mom. I went to every open house with her. I've done home buyer seminars with her. I've been to closings with her. I've done everything with her. So I have been behind the scenes as well as doing paperwork, you name it. I have been there. So I know the struggles, the ins and outs of real estate that they don't show you on social media. So originally my mom asked me to do real estate in 2019, I want to say. It was 2019, and I was like, okay, so I'll give it a try. And this was way before I started nursing school. So I tried it, and my mom had paid for me to do like this training that was like with the CE shop or something. So it was like strictly online based, at your own pace, no instructor. So that was my first time I realized I do not operate like that. Like, I can't do something just on my own pace. Like, I need an instructor. So I ended up not finishing it. My mom was kind of upset with me. She was pretty upset. She was like, oh, you wasted my money or whatever. I felt kind of bad. But my instincts, like, I really wanted to do nursing. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go do nursing. So I did nursing, and I did good my first year, even though it was a struggle because I started with COVID started, so 2020. So that was rough. And then I tried to do real estate in the summer of 2021, but I ended up not being able to do it because I had to retake a nursing class. So that took it away from me doing it. So I ended up having been in school the entire year, literally the entire year of 2021. So then here comes 2022 this year, the hardest semester that I've ever experienced, and they have been talking about this since nursing school started, and they were not lying. It was the most stressful thing I've ever done. I cried so many nights, right, Mom?
Yes.
I cried, I contemplated, we talked so much about what I should do, and I just took a leap of faith, and I took a big risk, and it cost me my nursing career for right now. So then I was like, you know what, let me just take a leap of faith, and I'm gonna pay for my own real estate license this time. So I decided to pay for my own real estate classes, and it was much more expensive than what my mom would pay for originally. And it was a different school, but the school is well known, recognized, and they had instructor stuff. So it was very straightforward. So I did really well, and I passed my exam the first time, both national and state exam. So I really did enjoy that part.
Didn't expect anything less.
Yes. No, but guys, this is something I was going to bring this back. So also, the first time I realized that real estate was something that I knew I could do was what year was that? Was that 2018 or 2019 when I did speech class? I think it was 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
It was actually 2019 when I had did this speech class because my college required us to do a speech class, and they wanted us to do like a persuasive speech or something. And I was like, you know what? Or informative speech. And I was like, you know what? I was scrolling trying to find topics, and I was like, how to buy a home. And I said, that's interesting. I said, let me try to do that. I said, so y'all, I was very detailed with everything. I created a whole PowerPoint. I had pamphlets. I had cards. I said, Mom, you got some extra stuff in there I can utilize? So I had took some cards and stuff that I could use, and I gave it to everybody. It was like a home buyer seminar for college students. So it was I had presented it, I practiced it a million times, and then when I got in front of the class, it was like it came off the top of my head. I studied, I researched everything, and it was just so like natural. And so it was so natural to the point that my professor asked me, how do you know so much about real estate? She was like, you sound like a professional. And I was like, well, actually, my mom's a realtor. At the time, Mom was a realtor at the time.
Yes.
And this lady was so interested. She wanted to buy a house with my mom, y'all. That's how interested she was of me learning stuff. She was that interested. She wanted to buy a house with my mom.
That's right.
So that was a little backstory. But,
Which goes to show you that you can learn through visual.
Right.
You know?
Because a lot of the things that I did learn was by observation. And so like sometimes even my friends would ask me questions about real estate stuff, even though I wasn't in real estate. I learned stuff just by paying attention to my mom and just observing, her and what she does and just listening to her. So yeah, that was my journey of getting into it. And now I've been in real estate for a little bit over 2 months. Just a little bit, like a week and a half.
Licensed as a real estate professional.
Licensed as, let me rephrase that. Licensed 2 months, okay? And honestly, guys, I have been doing fairly well, surprisingly. I haven't closed any deals yet, but I have had a lot of leads, and I have a lot of people that actually want to purchase homes next year. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm just finding my own way because, like this conversation is about, most people would think, oh, my mom's gonna give me leads, I'm just gonna get free this, free that. No, my mom is not giving me free leads, even though she can give me free leads. But I choose to honestly want to have my own leads. I want to be able to generate my own business, and I don't want to be like, oh, my mom's just handing me stuff. I don't know how to work hard for anything. So I was never raised that way from both of my parents. So
absolutely. So which leads us into talking so we've kind of covered her going into real estate, how it actually started. So the whole center influence around being her mom, her broker, and her boss. So of course she is my real estate assistant, because whom other can trust with all of the things that requires me to delegate to continue to keep the business afloat, take it to new heights and new levels. So she is my real estate assistant, therefore she can do every single thing because she is licensed.
Right.
So a lot of things, a lot of clients, she is heavily involved with because she's my assistant, because she is licensed. She can open doors, conduct phone consultations, like literally, this is my mini me. She can literally do everything, which is the reason that I love. We live in the same household, so sometimes, work isn't cut off, if I'm intertwining.
You guys, that is a true fact. It could be 9 o'clock at night. My mom is talking about, no, she's the hardest working person I've ever met in my life, okay? She talks about real estate all day. That's not a bad thing, but she's just a business owner. And she takes pride in her business and her clients, giving the best experience to you guys. So every day we're talking about ideas of what we can do to improve our business, be able to grow our clientele, to be able to provide the best service to you guys. So she's top notch.
I love what I do, and it shows with every client that I help, no matter if it is refinancing a home, helping them keep their home because life happens, if it's getting into a home for the very first time, building their real estate portfolios, showing you how to build generational wealth in real estate, because that's a thing. So she's my assistant and we work very closely together. I 100% rely on her to help me continue to keep the business afloat, because it's extremely important where I am in the business. So right now we have a total of 15 agents that are aboard with us, in addition to several agents that are onboarding before the end of the year. So I wear more than one hat. So when I first got started in real estate, I was just a solo person, just doing it all on my own. Had her on the back end doing entering, transactions and things for me, kind of like the paperwork side of it all. The last 2 years, I've had a virtual assistant But now an in-person assistant is something that I've had for over the last year, strategically on payroll, you know, really helping me get down in the trenches as far as, you know, everything that I do for prospecting, which is extremely important. So I'm excited to have her on board, you know, as my assistant, help her to grow her career, but then also in collaboration of helping me continue to, you know, stay afloat, because this is my baby. I'm gonna make sure she has. So if mama good, you good, you know. So right?
Yeah. But Ma, let's talk to them about like the struggles of like, because it's only been 2 months of me of being officially licensed. So talk about the struggles of me being full-time and being your assistant that you had to encounter, because it's not as simple as you guys think.
It is not as simple. So of course, laying down the rules that of course you can't make your own hours, you can't do what you want to do, you have to get out of that 9 to 5 mentality. You have to get out of the mentality that, oh, it's mom's my boss, she's gonna let me slide. So hair appointments, nail appointments, all of that, you know, you want to go have lunch with your friends and stuff. I've literally like had to lay it down like, no, this is a business. I am running a business. If you were on a corporate job punching someone else's clock, you would not play with their time like that. So you're not gonna play with mine.
Yeah.
You know, and I have had to put some serious, you know, restrictions and, you know, things in place to let her know that I'm serious, because if I experience laxing, or, you know, the duties that I've delegated to her are not getting done, that means I have to pick up the slack. That means that's putting more hours on me, and there's no reason for you to be on a salary. Right? You know, so accountability. I am a person that is firm on accountability, and I stand for what I believe in. If I've given you something to do, brought you in for as a partnership, that's not only her, you know, because she is licensed, she is, you know, my assistant, she is a licensed real estate professional with the Christopher Dynasty Real Estate Group, but she is also held to a standard just like the rest of the agents that are a part of the Christopher Dynasty Group. It doesn't matter, because she is my daughter. She is held to the same standard. I hold one-on-ones with her, business plans, all of that. So going into this year, you guys will see a lot of changes. So
definitely,
of course, because I wear a lot of hats and I manage agents. I am a mortgage broker as well. I am still a producing broker, which is a huge benefit for any agent that is a part of my firm, because I'm teaching you real-time information, not things of the past. So I'm still in these real estate streets. I'm still negotiating offers. I'm still networking with, you know, sales professionals, meeting with sellers, meeting with buyers. It's never going to end. It's something that I love to do. Eventually, I will transition out of opening doors, but you'll have her as well as the team that we are building to continue to assist you. I'm always going to be there, but I just wear a different hat now, and my position and my role is different. So let's talk to them about our struggles. So let's talk about the struggles with real estate.
Oh, okay. Well, for me, it's only been 2 months in, and I don't want to say that I'm like really struggling with any like, oh, like I can't get this together, but because I mean, I'm still learning like what works for me. And it's like for my mom, she has built a platform for the past 6.5 years, and she has a plethora of followers on social media, right? But she worked hard for those followers. Like me, I'm building my stuff myself. So to me, I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. What works for me? What's the best marketing strategy? Like, and I've been talking to my mom, like, you know, how can I improve on this? How can I improve on that? And I've seen a major improvement in the way I record my content and how I get through to my clients. Like, I've seen a major improvement.
So when it comes to, of course, marketing yourself, marketing and branding is two different things.
Yep.
She has really said that I don't want to be like you. I want to set myself apart. I want to be different. I don't want to copycat, things like that. So I've pretty much let her do her thing, but now it's time for me to chime in to really direct her the way that she needs to go, because I've given her the will. I've given her the key to pretty much lay the platform out for herself, which direction she want to go. Of course, she has a whole sphere when it comes to nursing.
I do.
She has a bunch of people that she's gone to school with,
yes,
that are ready to purchase homes. People that are in school that have gone back to school, what they call it, preceptors, all of that stuff.
Oh,
people
yeah.
that she's worked with on the nursing unit. So medical field definitely something that I have helped her establish herself in, and we're taking it next level 2023. But
Definitely.
when it comes to branding herself, it's really just kind of staying on top of her to make sure that she stands out. Of course, she's a millennial. She can speak to a whole different audience. Like I don't particularly market to millennials. If one reach out to me, totally different story. But we have a full, like a broad range of agents that cater to different niches, different, areas and arenas in the Houston Metropolitan area. But when it comes to millennial, we do have a few that market to, the millennial, population and relocation, all of that. So 100% centering her around the medical professionals and working with millennials. So yeah, there are some perks with me being her mom, and me being her boss and broker, because we live in the same house. I have of course, I have the same exact standards for her that I have for any agent that is a part of the brokerage, but even higher standards for her because she lives it. She sees it all the time. You know what I'm saying? The importance of entrepreneurship.
Yep.
When you are an entrepreneur, you work for yourself. So if you don't work, you don't eat.
Yep. Oh yeah, and something else I forgot to say. I would say like the biggest struggle that I feel like maybe any new agent may have is being consistent. And I say that because like I know like you might think, oh, it's easy to post something every day, but it's really not. Like it takes time to plan out your content, what you're gonna say, what you're gonna do. It takes time, and it can be draining sometimes. And sometimes you're posting multiple times a day, so you have to have. That's why when you record content, you have to do batch content.
Exactly.
Meaning that you record multiple videos in one day. Whether you change a shirt in this video, or you change whole outfit in this one. You gotta do what you gotta do, and then if let's say you didn't want to go out to the community today, but you have a video that you posted or that that you haven't posted before, you can post that video. So yeah, I would say the biggest struggle is consistency, but that'll be something that I'm definitely going to work towards next year, because I want to post more, because I feel like the more consistent that I have been, the more people that I'm interacting with, and the more leads that I get.
Yeah. So,
and also like just marketing material in general. Like I feel like you have to spend money to get money back in return. So like if you can't say that you want to make this certain amount of money and you're not investing into yourself to be able to do that. So like let's say for instance like your biggest lead source may be social media, so you have to invest into your social media. So that's called boosting ads, doing this, doing that. You have to invest into yourself. That's what I would say, being consistent.
So one thing that I'll say that I like that you have done is taking the initiative of, like you're saying, boosting ads, digital ads, putting money behind her marketing efforts on social media, which is something that she's seen me do over and over again, which that is not the only lead generating strategy that I have, that we do. And a benefit for her is I have a huge expense when it comes to marketing. So that is like a benefit, of me being her broker, her mom, and her boss. Overflow of leads, because I'm so busy, I will hand them over to her because she is a part of the team. She's a part of my team. She's a part of what keeps me afloat. So that's the difference, not just things being handed off to her because she's my daughter, but she's on a team that actually supports me to continue to get to the next level, to assist the client from, phone consultation. I'm the one who's conducting phone consultations and carrying them through. I'm negotiating the offers, writing the offers, all of that. But a physical presence of opening doors, showing houses, narrowing down the process, all of that, even sending them stuff, working our database. This is her. I do chime in as necessary, but she's a huge support to the business. So there's other things we kind of won't get into, but it's a huge benefit, of course, because I am her mom, but everything is not handed to her. I do make her work for what it is that she wants, building herself up, that platform, creating that platform, and putting yourself in front of people. So she still has the same accountability as every single agent.
Yeah, and also I want to say, like, don't compare yourself to the next agent. Because everybody's success is different. Somebody could be successful in a few months, and it takes somebody 2 years to get there. Don't compare yourself. And that's what I said. For me, I'm not gonna compare myself to my mom, because I know she got her first closing in what, 4 months?
Yeah.
4 months. You know, the average person, that might not be, you know, it might take you a year. You know, it might take you 6 months. But you know, it's all about how consistent you are, and it's all about how bad you want it. So for me, I would say don't compare yourself to anybody else.
So
do your own thing.
It's different. You know, of course, we're in a different market, we're in different times, and everybody, you know, has a different effect and a different approach on their marketing. The people who they influence, who they speak to, and who's their particular niche and, you know, target audience. So for me, when I first got started, which things are totally different from back then versus now. I was just posting pictures, you know, things like that, but I was doing a lot of different lead generating strategies. I was cold calling, you know, which that is something that I don't do now, but cold calling is something that I did, which is how I got my very first listing. My first listing that I received, I got I what I call circle prospect around that listing, where I door knock. That is how I picked up my second listing, which was directly across the street from that home. So my 2 first listings in the exact same neighborhood. And then my very first new construction buyer that I received, I actually picked that up off of doing new construction open houses. But my very first transaction that I did was a very experimental transaction. It was one that taught me a whole lot of things. So much stuff happened on that transaction. Kudos to those clients, because they are actually in process of closing on their second home with me, which makes it their 3rd transaction. So they brought one home, they sold that home with me, and now we're closing on their second purchase, which makes it the 3rd transaction. But very, very, you know, informative, you know, type of transaction. It was an FHA loan. It was an older home. It had burglar bars. The burglar bars had to be removed off of that home in order for us to get the clear to close. I did so much on that transaction. I showed them an extreme amount of houses. Mind you, this was my first client. I didn't know any better. I didn't have mentorship. Whereas this is the benefit of her being, or me being her mom, her broker, and her boss, because I'm not going to allow her to show an excessive amount of homes, work with a client who, you know, kind of don't have it all together. You know, she has the foundation, she has the platform, she has me to guide her. Yeah. You know, so you know, when it comes to getting into real estate, being into real estate, it's important to make sure you have, of course, the guidance, the mentorship and coaching, but it starts with the brokerage that you are with. You know, the broker is the person that supports you as the individual agent. Your clientele, buyer, seller, renter, whomever they are, investor, they are buying into you, your expertise, what it is that you're selling. Your brokerage ultimately supports you. People are not going to do business with you or select you because of the broker or brokerage that you are with. Now, that may have enlightened, you know, their decision, because you've received, you know, some people that have reached out and said, oh, I follow your mom, what, you know.
Yeah, but they worked with me solely on the fact that it was a perk that, you know, that she was my mom, but they worked with me because of how realistic I was with them. Because not every time it's time for a person to buy a house at this time. Sometimes you have to be realistic, like, look, this market is not what you think it is. You know, maybe a few years ago you could have got that monthly payment you wanted, but not right now in this market, you know. But that's what made my clients want to work with me, because they said I was very realistic with them, and I just kind of set the expectations, and that's what continued the relationship that we have now. So
so your clients are buying into your expertise. So people are doing business with people who they know, like, and trust. So I mean, centered around everything that you're putting out on a day-to-day basis. So,
and being genuine too. Because you don't want to just sound like, oh, you're just trying to sell them and trying to take their money. Like, no, you want to make sure these people can stay in their home, they can afford to keep their home. You know, you don't want to be selling them a dream, especially in this type of market.
Listen at her, girl, talking, girl. There's less than 3 months licensed as a real estate professional, and she's giving y'all game like that. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, when it comes to timing, yes, she's only been licensed for going on 3 months, but she has the knowledge, the expertise, the wisdom, everything to help any buyer. If they are a buyer, if they are a seller, you know, investor or renter, she's fully equipped to walk you through the transaction from start to finish, and she has a broker, she has a mom support to guide them through the entire transaction.
Definitely. I will say a good brokerage does matter, I would say, because I know a lot of people, they understand that once you get into real estate, it's expensive. It is truly expensive to get into real estate, especially if you don't have the funds to, get into real estate. So I would say definitely save, but also don't just go to a flat fee brokerage because you are afraid of spending the monthly expenses to get the training that you need. Because if you have to reach out to somebody from another brokerage to get assistance, that tells you that you shouldn't be at that brokerage. And that's not to, talk down on flat fee brokerages, because flat fee brokerages, to me, I feel like it's for somebody that's experienced, somebody that they don't need guidance in every transaction because they've done well over a certain amount to be able to do so. But I would say that you should get a brokerage that does have the training and essentials that you need. That's why our brokerage is great, and we have a lot of collaboration in our brokerage. Everybody is willing to help and give out, information on, what you can do better for this or a tip for this. Like, we've learned a lot. I've learned a lot over these past two months, to be honest.
Yeah. And, when it comes to the training and everything that I provide, definitely it's top tier. The systems that I provide, very robust systems that are keeping you ahead of what the trends are in the industry, what the market is doing, so you can consistently stay in front of your sphere, your clients, people that have reached out to you who are ready now, or maybe, down the line, a few months down the line. You have systems, you have tools, you have broker support, which is extremely important. I find that a lot of people really, really lack that. So, of course, I mean, this conversation can lead to a whole lot of things, but I have found, this is my first year, of course, owning a brokerage. Nothing new to me except for the part of managing it all, the mindset changing. But I have mentored agents since year 2 of my career. So I'm embarking on year 7 of my career. So I know how to identify agents when they are weak when it comes to their marketing, lead generating strategies, when they are simply not doing the work. I've been mentoring agents for a very long time. But when it comes to me interviewing agents and just kind of getting in their head, seeing where their mindset is, seeing what it is that they're lacking, a lot of them are choosing flat fee brokerages based off their monthly expenses. So it's important to understand, you getting into real estate, it is no walk in the park. It is, of course, no ceiling to the amount of money that you can make in this industry, but the investment, investment of getting started for schooling, your continuing education, everything when it comes to your branding, your marketing. Some of the iPhone pictures, they're just not going to get it. Professional photography is extremely important when you're putting this information in front of people that you are looking to work with. If you're looking to work with a seller, you're dealing with their net proceeds, which are huge. If you're dealing with a buyer, this is one of the biggest financial commitments that most people make. You want to make sure your professional image is up to par. So when it comes to branding, a nice professional branding photo shoot, extremely important. So first getting started in the industry, that was the first thing that she did. I didn't even have to tell her that. You need a professional photo shoot.
Yeah, that's another thing that sets you apart is your appearance. And that's something that we don't take heavily. Like, our whole family, our household, we like to look good every time.
Yes.
And my mom and my dad always said, when you walk out here, you are a representation of me. So whenever we walk out the door, we gotta look a certain way.
Up to par.
Up to par. The Christophers are different, guys.
We don't have step. And anything when it comes to being a part of my brokerage, I am, definitely on my agents, because I've worked extremely hard to build my business up to where it is today, to build my brand to where it is today. So, I have a lot of agents that reach out, in regards to wanting to join my brokerage. No, I am not a one-size-fits-all type brokerage. I don't accept every single person that submits an online inquiry to join the brokerage, simply because I have core values that I hire and fire by. And every agent, their mindset, what it is, their whole entire approach has to align with the core values of our brokerage. All right, guys, so that she has a little she moves at her own pace. Okay,
That is not true, guys. Okay.
Yes, you
when
do.
When I was going to school, I like to be very early.
Okay, in that aspect, but okay, as we talk about being your broker, your mom, and your wife.
I do show up.
Not your wife. Your broker, your mom, and your boss. She does. She moves at her own pace. That's why I had to put boundaries and like really influence. Like I gotta make breakfast, and okay, you can pick breakfast up from Chick-fil-A on your way into the office, but we have a certain time that we are starting our day.
Guys, we start our day at the right time every day.
Which is what time?
We started at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
That's what we.
But I'm up way before that. I am tackling emails, addressing all kind of things. You know.
Okay.
So I'm up between 5 and 6 in the morning.
Well, you know what, guys? You know what? I am tired. Okay. Let me just be honest with you. I'm tired. Okay.
See, and this is where I talk about the accountability.
No, let me tell you. It has been a rough transition for me to be. I am tired, okay? Half this year, I have been waking up at 4 in the morning to go to clinicals. I was exhausted, okay? That's tiring. Working 12 hours and then you gotta drive home. Oh my God, it's just been tiring.
Okay, anyway.
But I'm gonna work on that next year, I promise. I promise I'm gonna work on getting up early. Because I'm actually used to getting up early. And I do feel like if you get up early and get your stuff throughout the day, you can have the rest of the day to yourself. I'm a firm believer in that.
That's true.
So, but it's tiring though.
It is. It's tiring. As I get up early in the morning, I do find that I need a nap. Kind of toward the end of the day, but okay, everybody has things that they need to work on. So this coming year, I am working on, of course, my health, getting up, exercising.
Let's talk about what we're working on.
Getting up, exercising in the morning before I start my day. That'll kind of fuel me, kind of get me started, my mindset, everything together. That's something that I have laxed on, and that's not even a reason for that because I have exercise equipment in my house. You know, we have a pool now. I could hit some laps, all of that. It's no excuse. So I'm really going to implement my health this year. That is literally, it's on my vision board. It is a part of my planner, my quarterly calendar for as the number of pounds that I want to lose a month, the number of days I want to exercise. Not just exercising, eating properly as well, because the industry, the profession that we're in, we do tend to eat on the go a lot, order into the office, all that kind of stuff. I am focused on more of planning and preparing my meals. Yeah. So that, you know, I could keep it right and tight, honey.
Yeah, because guys, sometimes we don't eat. That's not, I don't want to say that to like be like funny, but like.
But it be like 3 o'clock and we
seriously,
like.
But when you really busy,
when
you busy and you working, sometimes you forget about the important things around you. And that's why sometimes you just gotta, you know, take some time. So I do agree. We do need the meal prep. Like maybe make some chicken or something.
We need to do something.
Maybe you guys could drop below, tell us some meals that we can make so that we can know. Yeah. So that we can know what to make.
Yes. So I think this was good, just to kind of give people ideas as to, you know, what it is that we go through as being her mom, being her broker, and her boss. You know.
Wait, one more question. So what would you say is your biggest lesson that you learned for this year?
My biggest lessons that I've learned for this year is to make sure that I do what's best for me, because personally, business-wise, people have showed me that they're going to do what's best for them. So extremely important for me to adjust my mindset. I don't take anything personal, but just make sure that I keep pushing forward. As a broker this year, I've learned so many things. What I have learned is, regardless of, you know, the agent, regardless of the client, people are going to move on their own time. And I've been learned that, but it's became even more, you know, front and center with me opening my own brokerage. Everyone's mindset is different. Everyone's timing is different. I realize and understand that the support from me as a broker is extremely important, because not everyone has that support at home, you know, from the spouse, the significant other. You know, some people are truly transitioning from corporate to getting into entrepreneurship and choosing real estate as their realm of profession. So the broker support is extremely important for me, because that's the #1 thing that I hear from agents when I'm interviewing them, that is something that they're lacking. You know, they were lacking broker support, they were lacking systems, training, you know, from their previous brokers that they were with. And a lot of it really boils down to as an agent, what people are selecting. Most people go for, the lower commission split or flat fee brokerages, but you get what you pay for. And that is with anything. You know what I'm saying? That's like you going to Neiman versus you purchasing something from Target. You're going to get a better quality of clothing or shoe, anything from Neiman Marcus versus Target. You know what I'm saying? So same exact thing. If you are choosing a flat fee brokerage, you're not going to get anything. Most of the time you don't get a CRM. You don't get training and support, not hands-on training in person in the field training. You probably get a library of videos that you go by. But when you're selecting a brokerage, you should be selecting a brokerage that's going to pour into where you are in your career. So if you're brand new, you need all the fundamentals, the training, you need all the loving on you to show you how to, negotiate a contract, negotiate an inspection report. You need all of that, because when you first get licensed, you learn what they teach you to pass the test. You know nothing about selling real estate.
That's true. So it's all about experience, and that's with any job. You just because you graduated from college and you got a master's or bachelor's in this doesn't mean you know that specific job that you're doing. So that's why training is important. Extremely important. Even if you're kind of lining yourself up with an administrative assistant or any type of job, you may have experience as an administrative assistant within just say oil and gas field, but now you're doing it somewhere in the realm of accounting. They're gonna have to show you their system, their ways, and their protocol of doing things. Exact same mindset and thing when it comes to real estate. Whatever real estate school you go to, they're going to show you and teach you exactly what you need to learn to pass the test. But that on-the-job training of flourishing and becoming successful in selling real estate, you learn that from the brokerage that you place yourself within. So it's extremely important that you choose wisely. So for me, the biggest thing that I've learned this year is to make sure that I continue to, of course, give back, because it is my time as a broker owner to give back for the things I remember I needed when I got started in the industry. I had to pay thousands of dollars of getting a mentorship session, coaching sessions, just finding people to really, really help me from getting just started to excelling in real estate. And there's definitely a difference, but the commitment comes from you. Are you committed to selling real estate, or are you just interested? Because there's definitely a difference. So that's a big statement, guys.
That's what we have today.
Wait, I didn't finish what I said. So for me, my biggest lesson that I learned this year was that you can't always plan. Everything doesn't go as planned. So I feel like you kind of have to take things a day at a time, a step at a time. And if you want it bad enough, you'll go do it, and you'll do whatever it takes to get it. So that's what I learned. And I learned that also you have to put yourself first sometimes. Sometimes you have to be selfish.
That's right.
And, the people that love you, they'll understand. They'll understand.
They definitely will.
So, guys, that was enough of our topic for today. So if you guys want to see more videos, subscribe to our channel, okay?
And make sure you like and comment below. And I'll leave you with this slogan that I say every single meeting. Information is irrelevant without implementation. So whatever it is that you learn, take in, make sure you turn around and implement it. I'm Treva Christopher, broker and owner of the Christopher Dynasty Real Estate Group.
And I'm Kayla Christopher, real estate professional and assistant of Treva Christopher.
We look forward to bringing you guys more videos in 2023.
Bye-bye.
Bye.